Hello and welcome to Odds on Ligue and Matchday 32. We have PSG Marseille, the classic in Ligue 1. So let's analyze all the games with Alain Valnegri, also with you. Leave your comments, press the like and subscribe. And now let's go on with the show. We have the biggest game in this match day in France. Alain, how are you?
Hello, Edu. Yes, it's a big journey.
Oh yeah, PSG Marseille. You will tell me what does it mean in France, this PSG Marseille. But even on Friday, we have a very good game. Let's start with this one. Rennes Monaco, because it's the third against the sixth. Rennes still 4 points ahead of Strasbourg, so they are fighting to get into the Champions League. Really informed, beat Reims 2-3. Last 7 games, 6 victories, 1 draw. But this Monaco is also a good one. 3 consecutive victories. Alain, I expect a very good game in this Good Friday.
Yes, it is good game, because we are in my opinion, the team in the best form actually is Stade Rennais, in front of a Monaco who in the last 3 games there recovered the victory. It was really important. They're winning against Paris Saint-Germain, they're winning in Metz, where it's always difficult, against Troyes, against a team in good form, they're winning. Now for that game, I think the balance is the key in that game. In the last 6 years, they draw 4 times, and that one make me thinking the draw is possible for that game. Is one of the first risks. I will take 3 risks for that journey. That one is the first risk. I saw a draw between Rennes and Monaco Friday in Bretagne.
Okay, last match day was a good one actually. You had many greens, and remember that when you are betting on a draw, many times we recommend to bet lower, perhaps 1/3 of the stake, because it's riskier, but the outcome is way better. Of course, Rennes Monaco, a draw is 3.87. And then on Saturday, Saint-Etienne Brest, important for the relegation battle. Saint-Etienne in playoff spots. You will tell me what happened with them. They were leading 0-2 in Lorient, then they crumbled 6-2, conceding 10 goals in the last 2 games. So they have to react against a Brest that is a very dangerous team.
Yes, Friday, I don't understand what happened. It is one of the most strangest game I saw in my life. With the results, with the synopsis, now there must to react. They must to react. The victory for Saint-Etienne next Saturday is mandatory. Is mandatory because after the schedule, there will be travel in Bordeaux, and in my opinion, that 2 games will be said them where is Saint-Etienne and how many probabilities they have to save the category without the play out. Brest are safe. Brest is difficult to predict some game about Brest, because sometimes we saw a very good version, sometimes a really bad version. For that game, I think the motivation will make the difference. And I saw Saint-Etienne have a reaction. They have an experimented player. They play at home, and in my opinion, they will be winning. Seeing 1 odds 2.25.
You have plenty of confidence in the Vert, Saint-Etienne to win. Then we have a derby in the north, Lille. Lens, both still fighting to go to European spots. For Lille, we thought they were better, Alain, but only 1 victory in the last 4 games, whereas for Lens, they bounced back with a great victory, 3-0 against Nice, even playing with 10 men, a lot of minutes.
Yes, very good. But I said from some weeks, the 2 teams most difficult to predict in this Ligue 1 is Lens and Metz. And Lens confirmed that, because winning 3-0 against Nice, no team made that in this season. It's a derby. It's a really hard derby. The rivalry is really intense. We don't saw a lot outside of France about that derby, but in my opinion, with Lyon, Saint-Etienne is the most aggressive derby between the both teams. Lille at home in the last weeks, really weak. 5 games, 3 draw, 1 victory, 1 defeat against team who has not a lot of ambition, because their draw against Saint-Etienne, their draw against Lyon and Bordeaux, and their draw against Metz.
Yeah.
And with a big problem, the goal. And against Lens, the motivation will be at the highest level. But if Lens can reproduce the game against Nice, the last week, there will have chance. And in the last game, Lille-Lens, we saw Lens winning against Lille at Bollard at home in Coupe de France and in Ligue 1. Second risk about this week, Lens 2 no bet, odds 2.75.
Oh, so Lens to get points. What are the odds, Alain?
2.75.
Okay, let's draw no bet. Then Nice Lorient, talking about Nice, no? What is happening with them? Galtier is losing the Champions League spots with Nice, only 2 points in the last 4 games, whereas for Lorient, they can't now breathe after that great victory that you were mentioning before.
But the problem of Nice is the goal now. 4 games without winning. It's the first time from the beginning of the season. Where is the Nice with that capacity to defend, suffer, and waiting his moment to win the game in the biggest game? We saw in Marseille difficulties. We saw against Stade Rennais a draw. In my opinion, Stade Rennais makes more to win that game. And the last weekend against Lens, what happened? Galtier will be furious. I don't want to be a Nice player this week, because I think the charge of work and the charge of concentration Galtier will be asked to the team will be really, really, really difficult. They must react. The occasion is very good against a Lorient who improved his results. They won that game against Saint-Etienne, but Nice is really favorite. The odds for the winning of it is so interesting. If we compare the difference about both teams, Nice winning, odds 1.70.
They've been in the top 3 the whole season, and now they are only in European Europa League spots, fighting for the relegation. We have Metz Clermont. This is a 6-pointer. For Metz, is almost done after that defeat against Bordeaux. For sure, they have to win this one against a Clermont that are really in difficulties, 5 consecutive defeats.
It's a scary game about the week. Both teams are the worst team in the last 5 journey in Ligue 1. 0 point for Clermont, 0 point, and only 1 point for Metz. Is the last call for Metz, because the defeat against Girondins Bordeaux last week is really difficult for the team of Lorient to accept that, because they have the opportunities to catch a positive results. And now Clermont are the first team outside of the relegation and the play-out. Clermont are really bad in this moment. I think the defensive phase is terrible at this moment. And for that game, I don't choose a team, I choose the goals. Over 2.5 odds, really interesting. Odds 2.30.
This is the scary game. Metz, Clermont, much more relaxed. Montpellier, Reims, one of these games that there is absolutely nothing to play for. Both teams have exactly the same situation. They lost in the past match day, only one victory in the last 5 games for both. And here the bookies give Montpellier favorites, but perhaps we can see a draw, no? Because it's very similar teams.
Yes, it's an holiday games. We can define that. Less for Stade de Reims, because Stade de Reims is 9 points up to the relegation, and we know if we enter in a negative dynamic of results is always dangerous. Montpellier, we saw in Marseille a team in holiday. Sincerely, a team in holiday. We feel that about the motivation. Stade de Reims outside is very strong this season. They catch the best results about Stade de Reims this season are outside, and for that game, I think we can take the risk to no bet odds 2.50 for Stade de Reims of 𝐿𝐭𝐴𝐲.
Also kind of on holidays, Nantes and 𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐲, although Nantes they still have possibilities to go to Europe, 5 points away from European spots. They are always very strong when they are playing at home. They lost to Lille, but they won the previous 4, so I guess we should back them not to beat 𝐿𝐭𝐴𝐲, now completely safe. Not completely, but almost.
No, not completely. I think not completely. 𝐿𝐭𝐴𝐲 have the chance they start really well the season, because from the beginning of 2022 is terrible. The average of points of the team is a derby. Is a special game always, especially for 𝐿𝐭𝐴𝐲. Nantes is preparing the final of Coupe de France. Is the goal about the team of 𝐿𝐭𝐴𝐲. But there will have the motivation to win the derby. 𝐿𝐭𝐴𝐲 in the last weeks, the last 2 journey, we saw some improvement about the team. But Nantes is, in my opinion, superior. They have more potential. The quality about the offensive phases is best than the defensive phase about 𝐿𝐭𝐴𝐲. Odds are really interesting for the victory of Nantes at home, and I choose that Signe 1 odds 1.97 for Nantes victory.
Much more to play for. Troyes, Strasbourg. Troyes, they lost only 2-1 against Monaco, but they are really in form. 10 points of the last 12 without counting that defeat against Monaco. And Strasbourg, we know that they are fighting even to get into the Champions League, and they were even able to get a point against Lyon, even conceding a goal in the last minute. Away, they are a bit weaker, Alain. They drew the last 3 games away, so not sure if we should trust these odds. No, only 2.11 for Strasbourg to win away won't be easy.
But I think the difference between teams are not reproduced about the difference in the odds. Troyes can create problem to that Racing Club de Strasbourg. Strasbourg at this moment of the season, they need more goals. They need more goals because some games, especially in Lorient, especially in Reims, if you wanna go to the Champions League, you must win. You must win that type of game. In this game you made the difference because they managed really well the biggest game, Strasbourg at the moment. Troyes at home is difficult. For game without losing against Nantes, against Marseille, there can be winning against Reims at home. The third and the last risk I took this week is a draw between Troyes and Strasbourg, odds 3.30.
And we have two more games. We have Lyon, Bordeaux. Lyon, huge favorites to win this game. Still, they have some possibility to get into Europe via Ligue 1, but they are absolutely focused, of course, in the Europa League and that game against West Ham. So perhaps there is some possibility because of that for Bordeaux to get a point in Lyon. It will be a booster after beating Metz and drawing also against Lille.
Yes, and they're correct. The defensive phase, they suffer a lot. They received so many goals. Girondins Bordeaux this season, and they found a really good goalkeeper. Poussin is unbelievable. In the last two games, he made the difference, and there is back to find the goal. And Nyang is scoring. The feeling are not good, but a little better in Bordeaux. Now, Lyon-Bordeaux is a historical game, always. In Ligue 1, in the last 5 games, Lyon won only one when they received Bordeaux. For that one, I think we have some elements to know. Lyon will be not dominate the game. Bordeaux arrived in a very good moment. Really good defensive phase, and Lyon, you said that before, they will be playing a really hard game against West Ham in Europa League. I check the odds for the handicap, and the handicap -2 with Sigle 2 is 1.65, and I don't saw Bordeaux losing with more than 2 goals of difference.
Okay, Lyon is Bordeaux Asian handicap +2, so that means, as you said, that they are not losing for 2 goals of difference. If they lose by 2 goals, you get your stake refund. And the last game is PSG Marseille, the classic in France. You will tell me, of course, what this game is meaning. Perhaps the last big game for PSG in this season. And now they are scoring. Now we have to see the picture of Neymar, Mbappe and Messi smiling, but it was a victory against Clermont. They could have done it in more important situations, and they are facing an Olympique Marseille, also alive in Europe. We have to remember that, and also in good form. In Ligue 1, they were able to beat Montpellier, so 4 straight victories for Olympique Marseille.
Yes, always the first question about Paris Saint-Germain game is what is the grade of motivation. The motivation are really high because is the last biggest game that will be played this season, because they are not in Coupe de France, in Champions they are not. They're practically winning the league, and the game against Marseille, we know the rivalry is really hard. And last week in Clermont, we saw the wishness about the player who want finish well the season. They wanna enjoy, they wanna have fun. That game will be really electric. Marseille arriving in a very good moment. 7 games, 7 victory in the last 7 games in Conference League and in Ligue 1. And now they have that game key for the Champions League, because they must to try to arrive second, because the third position means playoff, and playoff are really dangerous for the champions. I saw goals. The odds about Paris Saint-Germain is really weak for that type of game, and I saw goals. Like last journey, a PSG really offensive with Mbappe, with a big motivation. Neymar, Messi. I think over 3.5 odds 2.15 are interesting, and the probability is really high to show 4 goals minimum in Paris.
Perhaps the last classic also for Mbappe in the French football. We will see. Alain, let's go with your academy.
First game, Saint-Etienne, Brest, Signe 1.
Yep.
Odds 2.25.
Mm-hmm.
Second, OGC Nice Lorient, Signe 1. Odds
Yep.
1.70. Third game, Nantes Angers, Signe 1. Odds 1.97. And the last game, 3, Racing Club de Strasbourg, X, odds 3.30, and the total is 24.86.
Okay, Alain, merci beaucoup. See you next week.
Ciao Edu.
You have now all the tips to bet in this new match day in France. Remember to leave your comments, press the like, subscribe, or if you prefer also, you can listen to all our videos in our podcast. Bye bye.